Okay, okay.
Alright, everyone. This is DragonInWhite here, and we are playing Final Fantasy XIV, and we have with us Fluffy Goblin.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good evening.
Yep, to everyone from different time zones, and as mentioned earlier, I'm dumb and forget to press record, and we said our intro and a couple of things, but basically, in this stream, we'll be running through some mythologies, more specifically the Chinese mythology, but we will want to look and explore into mythologies of other cultures, and also potentially, you know, it's going to be hard to not link this to religion as well, because many creation mythologies have influence on religions, or religions are influenced by these stories. Okay, and this is a terrible place for FF14 because of all number of the number of players here and all the data and
There's
frames.
so many players here because of Palace of the Dead. Oh, I have the Palace of the Dead quest. I have to go grab it.
Ah,
Oh, it was
you
in
don't have
Oda,
it
wasn't
yet.
it? I forgot
Palace.
to grab it.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, no. It's in Gridania, I think.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Okay.
So we will show you guys also how to get into the Palace of the Dead in the first place.
Well, I already got it done, so that's that.
Well, you did.
Yeah, but how are you gonna show them if you're not showing your perspective?
I'll walk them through it. It's fine. I'll show them who to talk to.
Okay.
If I can figure out what city they're in.
Oh, and yeah, just quick intro of some of the things to those of you who are watching this on the vlog that goes on YouTube later. I am wearing a scrub cap, and this particular one has, well, birthday wishes of my friends. So this scrub cap doubles as a birthday card as well. So this is what I'm wearing. In case you guys were wondering, let me just show you guys more close up. And yeah, if you see, if I rotate to the back, you can see words behind here. And yep. All right. Okay. So getting started. Let's see. Is this the one Palace
Let's
Dead?
see.
The house
Yep,
that Death
New
built.
Gridania.
New Gridana, yep. You speak to Nojiro Marujiro.
And looks like he is over by the Conjurer's Guild, I think.
X12 Y13.1.
Wait, no, he's in New Gridania, which is the upstairs part.
Yes, New Gridania.
He's in the inn. He's in the Adventurers Guild. So if you are all interested in doing Palace of the Dead in Final Fantasy, at some point you will go to Gridania's Adventurers Guild. And he has a blue quest marker and is right by the front door.
Well, any key features of the game will have a blue quest marker, and I do try to complete those if I can. Those are also the things that open up dungeons and certain functions like your hunting log. Well, not hunting log, but I have this interesting one which is sightseeing log, which I have never bothered because all the puzzles, and it really requires you to be quite familiar with the terrain too. Of course, I could just go online and search the answer up.
Well, when you're looking around, you'll end up running across these blue glowy orbs. It's just using, anytime you see the blue glowy orbs, you can just stop and go ahead and do either / lookout, or I think there's a couple of other options. But they don't just give you access to that. Some of them will give you access to emotes that you can only use once you've done that quest, or it's early. They give you stuff. All of the blue ones give you stuff. They give you
Yep.
more extra special stuff than when you do regular quests.
Okay, so that's that bit. Okay, I just pinged off a
and back
message
to Corey
there.
now.
Okay, good. So once we kick off the Palace of the Dead, we'll probably start discussing on our topic of the day, which we'll be talking about mythologies. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let me...
It'll be story time.
Yep, and it'll be time to, see me messed up. Because, distracted. Distracted and talking about mythologies while playing a game.
Alright, I am going to sign us up.
Okay, yep, you're the party leader, yeah? Oh, and while we're waiting for that and before we move on to that, we want to probably talk a little about our free company. So, as some of you guys know, we have a free company set up. If you'd like to join up, just, send a message to us on Discord and we can work out something. At the moment, I believe our recruitment is set to... Well, it's not open. We'll probably discuss this a little further, but yeah, we have a free company and if you'd like to join us on Diabolos, I think. And yeah.
Yep, Diabolos. And if you are ever interested in getting some in-game time with one of us, just let us know. We can definitely make something work out with your schedule and ours, and we would love to have you at some point.
Fluffy,
Okay.
why are there only 2 of us?
Because there's only 2 of us. We don't need 4 people. This'll be fine.
Wait, what? I should have played as a healer then.
You'll be fine.
Alright.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. I've got to move some stuff around real quick. We will get a couple of different, I'm just gonna put this right here, lock it. We'll have a couple of different screens, so you'll notice when you pop in, you have your character info, which has your gear and the items. That's where we're gonna see our different orbs. And then of course there's the progression and the floor number that we're currently on, as well as timers. So we have 1 hour to get through floors 1 through 10.
Okay, so I got no idea where I'm gonna put the stuff. Maybe I'll just throw this one here at this corner for a moment.
I'd just throw it. Yeah, you can't throw it right over the top of your chat box.
I mean, that's where my camera is at. I mean, I could always just close it. Hey, you started without me.
I just opened a chest. Wait, come back. Uh-oh. Palace Antelope. So, should we start with,
Okay, after this mob, hang on for a second, I realized I screwed up one thing. Hang on. Character settings, you're gonna hear that a lot in Palace of the Dead. I actually ran this once. There you go. I went fishing, I switched to toggle, and that's kind of messing up my gameplay a little. Because, if you just toggle, you have this on permanently like this. Okay, alright, let's attack stuff.
So
Okay.
we will go and explore. Do you want to start with creation myth?
Okay, so I think, how about let's start with what we are mostly familiar with. So, I believe everyone here have at least heard of Christianity. One of the world's more common religions out there. Disclaimer, I myself am a Christian and I do subscribe to that, to that belief. However, I won't be here to push my ideologies on anyone, so don't worry. So, let's start with Christian mythology. So this is common to the Middle Eastern region of the world. And on top of that, we also have it common to, I believe the Egyptians have a very similar creation mythology as well. Not entirely the same, but the whole idea behind the Christian creation mythology is a god basically speaking the world into existence. So I believe with Christianity, I'm sure many of you heard the story of how God created the world in 7 days. On the first day, he said, "Let there be something." I can't remember the exact details suddenly.
Let there be light.
No, light came later.
Oh. Uh,
Wait, was it
I'll
light?
be honest, I'm not as familiar. I thought it was light, but I could be wrong.
Okay, maybe I got the order wrong. Okay, maybe it is light, and then there was separate the sky from the water, and then the water from the land, and then we have, you know, create the plants, create the animals, and then finally created humans. And humans were done on day 6 together with animals, and then God rested on 7th day, so that makes a total of 7 days, 1 week of creation. Of course, there are a lot of debates about these 7 days, whether are these literal 7 days or are they just symbolic of 7 periods, things like that. Of course, that's not what we're here to talk about. So this is one of the very common, one of the creation stories that many of us probably have heard. You know, God created the world in 7 days, and he did so by speaking. The spirit was over the waters or something like that. I really should have dug out my Bible and just read all of that. That would have been much easier. Yeah, but I think the main gist is there. Hopefully my pastor is not watching, so you know, make sure that, or else I'll be having some private lessons. Yep. Okay, yeah, so that is the Chinese, not Chinese, that's the Christian creation story. So let's talk about the Chinese story then. So now the Chinese story, it talks about chaos and basically in creation of something through this chaos. So there isn't exactly a proper word for it in English, but most of us translators tend to translate that as the Primal Chaos or the Kun Tun in Chinese. Okay. So basically how it goes is the world started off as primordial chaos, and then yin and yang, it is split into yin and yang, and then from yin and yang it created something else, and then so on and so forth. It derives all the way down to everything in the world. So this is one of the very core Taoist philosophy of yin and yang. So from there you have it split into the 8 trigrams, which probably is mentioned in many novels, and it splits again into the 64 hexagram. And if you guys follow my Everlasting Immortal Firmament, I actually did a bit of a description of that one there. Alright, and yeah, so now let's get into a bit more of the nitty gritty details here. So okay. Temple State. I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong, but if you like to, you can probably type it out in the chat there, and I'll read it out for everyone to hear as well. He's saying that he knows the Finnish creation story from our epic.
I actually have the book, The Kalevala.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, that's one of the. It's interesting that you bring that up, because there are so few that are aware of that particular that particular creation story and that particular set of like you said, songs and poems.
Cool. So
but I do have that book.
Cool. Let me finish up with the Chinese one first then. Well, probably going to be tough to finish, but let me touch on the next part. So as you have probably noticed from my description so far, I have not mentioned any godly being or deities or anything in this creation story. Yeah? So I think part of the story, of course, the one I described is just a very brief understanding of how the creation of the world came to, and there is a being that is said to have caused the primal chaos to split into yin and yang. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you, quite a few readers of these novels have probably heard of a character called Pangu or Pangu. Pangu. I'm pretty sure many people who read this is a character that tends to appear in novels, especially Chinese novels, especially that deals with cultivation and things like that. So so basically, Pangu. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the English pronunciation of it, even though it's Pangu. He basically has an axe.
Use the Chinese pronunciation for something like that. We should learn how to pronounce it correctly. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I want to learn how to pronounce it correctly.
It is, but I need to make sure people understand what I'm saying. Yeah? Okay, Pangu or Pangu, I'll just go it this way. Okay, he has I believe one of the things he is known for in some story is an axe. But aside from the axe, okay, mainly the idea is he was the person who cleaved the primordial chaos apart, separating it into yin and yang, giving rise to the sky and, well, the land. Alright? And then some things happened basically, and then he eventually became tired or something, and then he, fell down and died. Okay?
Oh.
A bit of a sad story, but there's more to it. So the thing is, his body didn't just lay there and do nothing, but instead, his eye, I believe it was the right eye, I cannot remember which one was which again, but the right eye became the sun, the left eye became the moon, his breath became the wind. And I'm gonna be very honest here, I'm slightly winging this from my memory, so I cannot remember what the rest of the things were. So if Fluffy would like to carry me for a second, let me just look up the list.
It sounds like you said with Egyptians similar to that, where as far as the earth and sky splitting, in Egyptian mythology there are actually two deities, specifically one for the earth and one for the sky, and it's a common feature that you see in a lot of different mythology. Yeah, Tempest State, if you want to throw in what you know of the Kalevala, please do so. I'll be honest, I haven't read it in a while. I haven't read it in a very long while.
Okay, before we do that, let me just read out the list I have here. Okay, so I missed out one detail. He was birthed from an cosmo egg or some sort that was, and the egg represents Taiji, which is, the mixture between yin and yang. Basically, he's a giant with horns on his head. Alright, and he separated yin and yang with a swing of his giant axe, creating the earth, which is the yin, and the sky, which is the yang, or yang in Chinese. And then he stood in between them, and he pushed the sky up. With each day, the sky grew by 3 meters. So I believe there is some correlations with a Greek mythology. I believe one of the Greek mythology has someone holding up the sky. I cannot remember who was it, but there's someone. It's one of the guys before the gods.
Man.
Well, the Titans. It was one of the Titans, I think.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Yep. Okay, so continuing on, he eventually, after 18,000 years passed, he was tired, he died. He breathed, and then his breath became the wind, the mist, and the clouds. His voice was thunder. His left eye became the sun. His right eye, the moon. His head became the mountains and the extremes of the world. His blood became river. His muscles became fertile land. His facial hair became the stars and the Milky Way. His fur, brushes become bushes and forests. His bones became valuable mineral. His bone marrow became jewels. His sweat rain, and the fleas on his fur became animals.
Oh, the fleas. Okay.
Yep.
The fleas. So where did the fleas come from?
No idea.
All right.
And okay,
That's fair.
Temp state, if you want to, you can actually start typing and I'll probably read out at the appropriate moment so that we don't end up waiting for all the typing to happen. So, of course, there is more to Chinese creation than just that, but that is one of the Chinese mythologies. And you'll find that there are some similarities with the, I believe, the Babylonian Tiamat, which also happens to be one of the commonly used names for the Final Fantasy series deity things. Yeah.
Not just Final Fantasy series, also in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if anyone's played D&D, but for anyone who is familiar with D&D, Tiamat is used as one of the dragon gods.
Yep, and also in FF14, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen us fight it. Ifrit is, if I'm not wrong, it's also a god of one of the religions. Another common one is Shiva, which is a Hindu deity. Yeah. And
Yep.
which floor are we in, by the way?
Well, and don't forget, of course, Odin and Fenris, and we're going to floor 11. No, we're going to floor 5.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm honestly just being carried by you and just following you around. Yeah.
Well, this allows you to do the wording things. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Be careful of traps.
Yep, I know. I became
Also,
a frog
feel free to
earlier.
turn into a succubus when we get to floor 10.
Okay, let me just check out which one is the one that does that. Okay. So, yeah, that is the basic Chinese creation story. And being that it's one of the very big creation stories out there, Pangu or Pangu is often written about in Chinese novels because they like to use him in part of the story's lore. Yeah, so,
Don't step
now.
on that red spot.
Okay, so I'm just going to blindly follow you while mashing buttons if I can while I read out what Temp State has over here. Tempest State here.
Oh no!
Tempest
You stepped
8.
on the spot. Don't step on the red spots.
Okay, so let's see. In Finnish mythology, which is mainly based on our epic Kalevala. How do you pronounce that?
Kalevala.
Kalevala. The world was
Kalevala.
born when virgin spirit Ilmata got bored of living alone in a world consisting of only water and air. She lands on the water lying on her back when the wind impregnates her. Wow. When after 9 years she wouldn't give birth. She got sad, got up to sit and cry. Just then, a blue bill who was finding a place for its nest found the knee of Ilmata and placed its nest there. The blue bill laid 6 golden eggs and 1 iron egg. Ilmata accidentally moved her knee, which caused the eggs to fall on the water and broke. From the pieces were earth, heaven, sun, moon, stars, clouds created. Finally, after some time, did Ilmata give birth to... Okay, how do you pronounce this one? I give up on this one. Not even going to try.
Hold on. Yep, nope. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, I'm
But,
gonna butcher it.
I would butcher it just as bad.
Moinen. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your culture up, but I mean, I'm not complaining when you guys butcher mine up, so that's that.
Honestly, I think even the Finnish agree that it's not an easy language.
Okay, so finishing up this, he was the main character of the rest of the mythology, wise man and man of great power. He was born as a full-grown male. He better be. He was in the womb for 9 years. Oh, then again, that's still a kid, but oh well. Knew singing and witchcraft from birth. He rose to treeless islands from the sea where he settled down to live. Okay, I actually see some similarities here to some of the Chinese mythologies. So, like, you know, the bluebird the golden eggs and wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's the significance of 6 golden eggs and 1 iron egg? Because the fragments of those 7 eggs gave rise to 6 things.
Again, it's been years since I've read that particular mythos.
Okay, well, in that case, you know, from the fragments came the world, and if you look at the Chinese mythology, which I just mentioned, it was kind of the fragments, well, not really fragments, but the parts of Panku who became the rest of the world. And this actually brings us into the next part of the Chinese mythology, where we have another character named Nuwa, and she had a brother called Fuxi. Fuxi, Fuxi. Nuwa is spelled Nuwa. So this is basically, in essence, the creation of men in the Chinese mythology. Basically, these are like deity-like beings. Okay, and Nuwa and Fuxi were brothers, but at the same time they married each other and giving rise to the concept of marriage. That was the first, supposedly, you know, first known marriage. And yeah, so basically, like the Finnish mythology, Nuwa got bored and sad and lonely. I think probably she got tired of seeing her, you know, her brother slash husband's face every day. But
Yeah.
I mean, imagine seeing one person, the same one person for the rest of time. So essentially,
man. I know I would get divorced.
no, that's the worst thing. Even if you get divorced, that's the only man you ever see. That's the only other person you ever see. Yeah.
We're going to use this one.
Okay.
We're going to use this one.
Yes, remind me to use the succubus one when we get to there, because I really lost track where we are.
We're on floor 7.
Oh, yeah, it's actually on the map. I didn't... Okay. Yep. So, Nuwa basically created men by molding them out of earth. And does this sound familiar?
Yeah. That sounds actually like several different mythos. Obviously Christian mythos.
Yep.
Or Judaic mythos?
You can call it the Abrahamic faith, because technically if you were to... Yeah. Because if you look at it, Christianity, Islam and Judaism have the same roots. Technically it is the same God, in fact, just with acceptance of different things. Basically, to sum it up, the Jews came first, then the Christians came. Jews refused to believe that Jesus was real, so they split into Jews and Christians. And then from there we have a Prophet Muhammad that appeared, and that's what the Muslims, or the, you know, the people who believe in the Islam faith believed in. But of course Christians don't believe in that. So technically same God.
And of course there's more there are a lot more differences than just that. We're just, again, for everybody that's watching, just giving a cursory synopsis for comparison's sake.
So, continuing on from the Nuwa story, there's actually a little more to it, in the sense where, after basically the first few men she made, hello Phantom, welcome to our stream. So for Nuwa, the first few, I'm about to die, I died.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's because I was already dead.
Okay, so...
Oh no!
Wow, okay. So this is gonna be quite... Honestly, I'll be fair. To be fair, you were pulling most of the weight because I was very distracted. Okay, you know what? We don't have Mind with us. Let me play as a cleric instead.
Okay.
that would be a safer bet, yeah. And since clerics doesn't really do as much, yep. Okay, so continuing on. Nuwa made men by shaping them out of the earth. Okay, so again, many different. You do not meet the requirements. Oh yeah, we gotta change the save state, I think. So
Okay, hold on.
now this is where capitalism comes into play. For the first few or the first bunch, she made these people by hand. Okay? Then she got tired and she started mass producing them.
Nope. Weird. Have you done the quest on your
Wait,
your
Do you need
healer?
it to? I don't think
Yeah.
you need it to be done on your healer specifically.
Yep.
Because I never
Yep.
done it on my monk either.
The system. What character did you do it on?
I did it on my Tomatouch.
Oh. Well, apparently as a cleric, why don't you switch to your thaumaturge? You'll be fine. What level are you?
Healing. No, I'll just reset the progress and that will work.
45. How are you level 45? I've created a monster, guys. I
Well, okay.
introduced him to Final Fantasy, and now his Fisher's level 7 in his
17.
his starting class. 7T. Sorry. And his starting class is not.
Hey, I out-level you as a paladin. I'm level 37
wanna
there.
be I'll go jump on my main character. You want to really do that? We'll do that. You can jump on your pally. We'll see how things work out.
Give me 1 week.
No.
Okay, well. Okay, I think we gotta reset the progress. So let's try
I
that.
did.
Yeah, I just did with mine. Try entering again.
Okay.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I probably just didn't have slots for it. Okay, so now you want mass produce them by I think dragging string through mud or something like that. Let me just look up
Alright.
the specifics again.
So, Phantom, in case you didn't catch earlier, we are talking today about mythology, focusing around Chinese mythology, of course, and kind of taking a look at how that compares and contrasts to mythos from other cultures. So, if you have anything to add, feel free. And then you could just watch us die while we're in a tower of dead things. It's great.
Okay,
Yay,
so
tower of dead things.
let's see. How did she mass produce things again? But well, I can't recall. But basically, you know, she ended up mass producing humans, and that is where. Oof, I'm being attacked.
Efficient. You're being attacked?
Yep. And well, the good thing at least is as a white mage, I can heal myself.
I'm coming. I mean, you also do damage. Yeah, you're fine.
But yeah. So now I have mentioned that Nuwa made 2 kinds of people. You know, people that she made by hand from earth, the other by dragging string or something through mud, I think, if I recall correctly. And basically this is where the class system idea comes from in China. So the people that she made by hand ended up becoming rulers and kings, basically, or people of high nobility.
Healer.
And
Healer.
yeah, I'm rushing
Healer.
over. I'm rushing over.
Help me.
You ran over before the healer is ready.
me.
Yeah, you good. But yeah, okay. So and then those that she mass that underwent mass productions, those were the lower class and the peasants and basically all the craftsmen and things like that. So basically, the nobility are having a claim that they were created superior.
Ah, so they weren't necessarily mass produced?
Uh, that's what they say. The rulers are. I mean, the whole idea of the class system.
Interesting. Okay. So that goes all the way back to the creation myth then.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were talking about. She was creating men. Yeah. Of course, there's more stories to Nuwa than just creating of men. There's also a whole story whereby there was a gaping hole in heaven or something like that, and she mended the hole. So basically mended the world. Yeah. And her brother slash husband, Fusi, is also known as the ooh, internet? No, connection is server lost. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Eh,
here. Hello?
yeah,
Oh no, you lost connection.
I
Oh
got
no,
dropped
you're not in
from,
here anymore, are you?
yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm all alone.
Hulerless. I'm coming back in. They lost my connection somehow. Yeah. So her brother is known as the what was it again? The god, emperor
Her
god or
brother
something like that.
husband.
Yep, her brother husband.
Okay.
Um, but basically that dude gave men fire. I think. Yeah, emperor
Okay.
god. That was the one. Emperor god.
Okay. So very similar to the pharaoh's mentality as far as their celestial standing, divine standing.
I believe in the case of the wait, were we talking about Egyptians?
Well, I was saying as far as the similar idea with the emperor god, the pharaoh
But
god
for Pharaoh, I believe they
aspect.
believed that they were the
Although,
literal son of God, the son of Ra to be
yeah.
specific. Yeah, Ra being the sun
Yep.
god.
And Daddy Bird would come back and fetch them when their time was over. Yay, I have heals now. Come here, Death Mouse.
That is assuming that I can actually pay enough attention to heal you.
Well, if you don't, you die too.
Nope, I can heal myself.
Uh-huh. We have one more room.
Okay.
Okay, so where do we see any of the aspects of the creation myth in cultivation novels?
Well, of course, cultivation novels, being that a lot of these are based on Chinese mythologies, in particular the Taoism, because the whole idea of being able to cultivate immortality comes from Taoism in the first place. Oh,
Hidden chest.
I didn't know that could be a hidden chest.
Ooh, we got there can be, and we got an accursed horde.
Yep.
And I'm excited.
I had one piece
stuff.
previously.
Loot, people, loot.
Yeah. So now what were we on again? I'm a bit scattered brain at the moment. Oh yeah, cultivation stories.
The creation myth and how it relates to cultivation stories.
Yeah, so basically cultivation stories are rooted or frequently rooted in the whole idea of, cultivating yourself to become stronger, and in more specifically cultivating immortality, because mankind wants to live forever. I believe in the previous episode, about previous stream at least, we discussed about how one myth of how Japan came to be was due to a search of immortality. So it's always a story of mankind trying to fight their fate and trying to live forever. Yeah.
Well,
so
we've definitely talked about how the obsession for immortality kind of infiltrates throughout all cultures.
Yep. I mean, we have the Philosopher's Stones. I can't remember which one was that form again though. Alchemy. The whole idea of alchemy is to make gold and live
Yeah.
forever.
Well, among other things, it is more complex than just that, but yeah, the concept of alchemy, looking for immortality, the Fountain of Youth, the Holy Grail. So if you're interested in any of that, you can check out the videos that are on YouTube from our last stream.
Yep.
Oh, no.
About that one actually is not up yet as of now, but on YouTube it will be labeled episode 55. Yeah, cause I kind of made too many episodes and had a bit of a backlog, even though I'm releasing them daily, and actually just did the last stream as one episode, which I probably will this week as well, cause you know the reason why I'm not clearing my job quests is because I want to record the job quests down, and I'm not having enough recording time to do so. So yep. Okay, so take for instance, as I mentioned earlier, I was talking about Pangu or Pengu, how this is one character that frequently appears in many cultivation novels, especially those that made use of Chinese mythology characters. And another common one, Nuwa, appears as well. In fact, okay, this is going to be a spoiler for the novel I'm translating right now, Everlasting Immortal Firmament. All these characters appear and they do play a strong theme in that as well. Of course, in our secret project, which I believe will be launching in the coming week, once certain goblin has got my synopsis ready.
Goblin got sick. But yes, I did. I edited your synopsis. It's not my fault you didn't check it.
You didn't tell me.
Oh.
Come on, you know our system. Okay, but
You're right. My bad.
but yeah,
I'll
so
drop it in the edited folder.
yeah, once that is up, I'll probably start by releasing a slow release system, probably like once or twice a week first until we get up to speed. Because right now our team of translators, including myself, are a bit tied up with other things, and we haven't gotten around to be able to translate one a day yet. So that will take us some time. Plus, our dear goblin is busy and can't edit as much either, and she's the only editor. A good editor.
Working on it. Aw, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I hired you. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
we will be announcing that project very, very soon. So,
yep.
Keep an eye out, because that one's actually turning out to be pretty interesting, if I do say so myself, which I do, obviously.
Well,
so back to mythology.
Yeah, so they do. Hang on, things appeared. So they do.
You are getting all kinds of trouble.
Yeah. Well. Whoa, did something pull me back? Oh no, next. No, okay, yeah. So, mythologies do frequently appear in cultivation stories, but not necessarily so as well. It really depends on the author ultimately, whether how closely tied to Taoism he wants to go, and also the other common religions that appear in cultivation novels would be Buddhism and also Confucianism. Yeah, so these are very common themes that do reoccur, and often, like say take for instance, let's go back to Pangu or Pengu. One of the things that I mentioned was that he split the heaven and earth with an axe. So very frequently you will find that even if the character doesn't appear, you may potentially find one or two technique names or weapon names that has his name in it, and that weapon is probably an axe. So that's that. If we were to look at some notable novels that have Pengu as a character, I believe what was that one again? Starts with an I on Wuxia World. ISSTH, I believe. I think, yeah, I Shall Seal the Heavens. I think that is one where they actually had the Pengu character appear. I think so. Or wait, was I confusing? That one was probably another dude from another mythology also using an axe.
I can't attack. I got hit by a trap. I can't attack.
It's okay. The healer got you covered.
Alright, bye.
Yes. So that is that is definitely how all these mythologies come into influence, and not just mythologies that influence how are you finding all these treasures?
What are you talking about? All the
Like-
orbs?
No, you see, you sense a treasure coffer somewhere nearby. What do you do to make that happen?
Oh, we go and look for a shiny spot.
Oh, it's somewhere nearby.
If there is one somewhere nearby, then we'll see a shiny spot.
Okay. Yeah, so on top of that also they do take oh yeah, let's see, Necropolis Immortal. I have not read that one, so I can't really say for sure, but the names probably sounds familiar, yeah. Fusi being that, also you have the Yellow Emperor, the Flame Emperor, and the various Emperor. Shenlong is
Right.
another one. That's I believe known as the I think was he the Yellow Emperor? I'm getting it a bit mixed up. Too many colors. I'll tell that story next actually. So yeah. So mythologies plays a part, and on top of that, it really depends on the author honestly. But another thing that does appear very frequently is also famous characters that appeared in iconic Chinese literature and history as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where is the promised shiny spot?
Apparently, are you sure that's what you saw and not that it got revealed for the next floor? Because it might have revealed it for the next floor.
Might have.
Come close to the tentacle orb. Tentacle orb. Necropolis. Oh, I don't think I've read that one either.
Yeah, actually, where is that
I
one
have
on?
seen...
Okay, skip. I seen this for the third time. Yep. Now I hope we can.
Where is Necropolis Immortal hosted?
I hope we actually do clear this somehow. You sense the accursed horde calling you.
Attack!
Ah, okay. ET does it. Alright, cool.
Ah, okay.
Been a long time since I spoke to her. Alright, so yeah, Chinese mythology. So I think we have had quite a bit of Chinese mythology. How about I believe you mentioned that you had, you know, reading mythologies as a hobby. Yes, I'm pretty sure you mentioned something like that.
Yeah, when I was younger, I had a obsession with various types of mythology. It's been a long time, but I have studied kind of a little bit of a lot of different cultures. But before we go on that, I've got to ask. There's one thing I've got to ask because I'm that level of nerd. Can you tell us the story of Goku?
Oh, Goku! Okay, so
We see it so often in so many different platforms of fiction, whether it's anime, whether it's novels, and that one just seems like a really fun story.
okay, so it is a very fun and long story. Like all these web novels we have, there is a lot of influence from Buddhism and Taoism and some other stuff. Technically, it was a story. In fact, it is a story that has sort of become mythology. Well, I'm not exactly sure how the change happened, but yeah, it did become legends and mythology. But it is not in the actual religions itself, even though there are some that kind of brought it in. It's probably like very early version of a web novel, if you get what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably something along the lines where people started telling stories and then they passed on these stories, and some people started seeing these stories as true, or well, at least religious and things like that. Because okay, so in any case, I think let me preface this by the most popular Goku in at least the Western world is aware of. Okay, I'm pretty sure most of you would have heard this name from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, whatever version you watch, Dragon Ball. Okay, firstly, as a preface, that is a Japanese name, Goku. Okay, the full name will be Sun Goku. Now, Dragon Ball Z has no bearings on, it has nothing right about Sun Goku. You know, they just use the character and the monkey aspect of it. Okay, but in Chinese his name is called Sun Wukong, or the Monkey King. Okay, so now the idea, so remember I mentioned Nuwa earlier, that she repaired heaven with some fragments or something. So basically there were some leftover fragments of that formed a rock that sat on top of a mountain, and that rock absorbed the moonlight for goodness knows how many thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years, and eventually the rock hatched.
Okay.
Yeah, hatched. A rock hatched, and out of the stone came a monkey. So this monkey was Sun Wukong, which is the Monkey King, or Sun Goku in Japanese. And basically, I'll be honest, if I were to go through the whole story of this, it would probably take me at least 10 streams to go through every single thing. But yeah, it is very long, epic. The general gist of the story is basically that he was a very mischievous monkey. He eventually grew increasingly more and more, stronger, and he eventually caused a lot of trouble all around the place. So one of the very famous stories was that he went to the palace of the East Sea's Dragon King. And
I know the story.
yep. So basically, this palace had a treasure. Okay, it's a pillar that held up the sea or something like that. Okay. In Chinese, it's called the Jinggu Ruyi Bang, or is it Ruyi Jinggu Bang? Yeah, Ruyi Jinggu Bang. Which I can honestly say there's no English translation for it. Just understand it as the golden. The golden staff or something like that. It's a staff. Okay, so basically
it's a staff.
yeah, it's a staff. So Sun Wukong basically pulled the pillar out, and one of its functions or abilities is actually to shrink and grow as the owner pleased. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is one of the very common thing that you will see. So in fact, if you recall watching Dragon Ball Z, well, not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball, the OG Dragon Ball, Goku's weapon was a staff, remember?
I have seen that with the Monkey King. He usually carries a staff that he can actually change the size of, and this is actually even translated into some video games that have made references to.
Yes, you are right.
The Monkey King.
That is correct. So the reason why I'm referring a little more to Dragon Ball is because it's anime that came out in my era. I am 31 this year. 31 soon, yes.
I forgot you were younger than me. Now I feel old.
Okay, but yeah, I'm 31 this year, and that is the era of some of the things that I watched when I was younger. So Dragon Ball, he has this stuff which also grows as he wants, and eventually he uses that to climb up to this place where he meets the cat, which I cannot remember his name, the white cat.
Okay.
what's that? The fat white cat and get the senzu beans, water of
Ah, yes. Yep.
yeah. So basically he sticks his pole into the thing and he has to climb up all the way to the top, something like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so that was the stuff that he was using.
Right.
So this is one of the very
And that
famous.
pulls from the same kind of concept with the Monkey King
Yep,
and
that
his
is
ability to be
correct.
whatever size he wants.
That is correct. So the stuff, of course, unlike Dragon Ball, this stuff followed the Monkey King throughout his life, or about his eternal life. It becomes a weapon that is iconic to him. Yes, Corin. The name of Corin. It's been a while since I watched it, and yep, good old show.
Yeah. Thank you, Phantom.
It was what, 20 years? Has it been 20 years?
I don't want to think about how many years I've been watching Dragon Ball. Stop making me feel old.
It's alright. But yeah, so that is one of the very iconic stories about the Monkey King. So before that also he has his own bunch of monkey
No.
minions.
Oh no.
Oh, heal
Don't
you,
let
heal
me
you.
die.
I can resurrect you.
That's not the point.
Whoa! First episodes came out in 1989. That's before I was born.
Oh wow. Yeah, that does hurt to read, doesn't it?
Hey, Tang. I got something on me.
Oh. Well, kill it.
Nope, got it. Okay, so another story about the Monkey King would be okay. So here comes the main juicy bit. So basically, he caused a lot of trouble. Okay, he even did these things. Okay, another one of the stories about his trouble is that he also went down to hell, and he destroyed the Book of Life and Death,
Oh.
essentially wiping his name and his family, about his monkey minions out from the book, which essentially means that there is no date of death listed in hell for them.
Which means they become immortal,
Yep,
essentially.
essentially.
Now, in Chinese mythology, is immortality the same as invulnerability?
Ah, no,
Okay.
I don't think so.
So they can
Mm.
still be destroyed.
Okay, this one I'm gonna have to
But
do a
not-
bit of research on because I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I mean, because stories about people who gain immortality tends to result in them staying immortal. But definitely there are ways for them to not stay immortal because they could
Well, there are-
reincarnate willingly.
Right. There are also stories of immortality. Go ahead and activate that. There are stories of immortality, but the immortal individual can be physically destroyed even if they don't die.
Okay, one thing I can say for sure, they
Ooh, yay.
can be
Positive.
physically injured. That is for sure. I think there
Okay.
is a fear of still getting destroyed despite the immortality, especially with the Monkey King stories, because you know sometimes they worry for themselves as well. That is
Right.
that. So yeah. So in any case, that is let me get to the meat of that story before I completely lose track of it. Basically, he caused a lot of trouble that eventually Heaven decided that to try the. They first tried the hard approach. They sent their armies against him, the Heavenly Army, and yeah, he's pretty strong. So he escaped. Not
Okay.
escaped. He defeated the army. So the army
Ah.
went with the soft approach, and they invited him to Heaven to take up a post. So they made up a very fanciful name. Well, not name, but fanciful title and basically gave him an unimportant job. So essentially, he was the he took care of the horses.
Oh, okay.
He became the stable boy
Wait.
within. Yeah.
So the Monkey King became Heaven's stable boy?
Yep. With a nice big title. You know, like maybe you could. Whoops.
Hey, I'm dead. Why am I dead, healer?
Yeah, come back to life. Yeah, so he became the stable boy with a big title. Essentially, you know, like calling a cleaner the cleanliness manager, if you get what I mean.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, I mean, yeah. So he got food for a short while until someone teased him saying that he was just tricked and stuff like that. So he got in a rage and caused trouble in heaven, and eventually somehow they managed to catch him. Another immortal, well, in this case immortals actually mean the deity, because you know heavens are made out of deities, and another deity captured him and tried to refine him in this furnace where he was supposed to be refined down into a pill. So technically there was supposedly some way to deal with his immortality. He could be destroyed, but the Monkey King survived and gained an ability from it. Basically his eyes, where he gained the ability to see far and see through the truth of everything.
So he just became stronger.
Yep, you know, that's the thing goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And eventually the heavenly court, which is heaven, okay, because they kind of take the similar structure to how the imperial court of China, ancient China worked. So you have the a chief deity, which is the yellow emperor, I think. Oh no, the jade emperor, not the yellow emperor, the jade emperor. Yeah, too many emperors, and then the rest are like kind of officials of the heavenly court, each having some responsibility. So from there, should we go the other way first? The other way is shorter, right?
Nah,
oh, no, the
we'll
key
go
is
back
there.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially they kind of couldn't deal with it, so they decided to ask for help. And the person they asked for help from was the Amitabha Buddha, or the Lord Buddha. And also known as the Gautama Buddha, I think. Yep. So that's where you have certain technique names, you know, the Gautama palm or the Buddha palm. This is all named after the Gautama Buddha. In fact, that's actually one of the known, well, not famous moves from one of those famous, not just classics, yeah, classic novels that is written by Jin Yong, which is epic stuff. Yeah, and so basically Buddha had a bet with the Monkey King. Now this story might be a bit more familiar. So basically Buddha came and he made a bet with the Monkey King. So the Monkey King, as usual, arrogant and everything, he says, why should I listen to the Jade Emperor kind of thing when I'm stronger than him and I can defeat everything? And basically the bet with Buddha was like, alright, let's have a bet. If you win, you can take the place of Jade Emperor, and if you lose, he has to listen to the Buddha. So the bet was that the Monkey King cannot escape from the palm of Buddha.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so some of you might start to find this story a little familiar now. So basically, Buddha let Monkey King have a head start. Okay, so the Monkey King flew on his cloud, which he had a cloud that he can ride on.
Yep. Zoom cloud.
Yep, zoom cloud. He has a cloud.
That is not the official translation.
This cloud actually appeared in Dragon Ball Z too. But yeah, basically the Monkey King flew to what he thought was the end of the world. And right over there, he found 5 mountains. Okay? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know where this story is going. He found 5 mountains. So, he thought, wow, I am so great. I
Ooh,
reached the end of
lots
the
of friends
world.
in here. You're gonna keep me
Okay.
alive, right?
Okay, you
Because
know what?
if you
I'm not
don't, you're
attacking.
gonna die next.
I'm gonna keep my finger on heal.
No, I
Uh,
need you to attack too. I don't do much damage.
yeah, but it's a
That's
matter
not how
of
this
time.
works.
If I'm attacking and I'm speaking, it's gonna be tough for me to heal. Okay, so Monkey King, 5 mountains. So he thought to himself, wow, I'm so great. I reached the ends of the world. So he thought to himself, I should leave a memory. And he
Okay.
decided to take out a brush and started writing on one of the mountains. Writing, well, rough translation says, the Monkey King has been here. Yes, and if you were to realize, like, there are a lot of stories of how some Chinese tourists deface certain trees by saying that I've been here. Yep, same words as those. This is where the inspiration came from. Now, do not deface things when you go somewhere else, alright? Just,
No,
yep.
no. Definitely do not deface. Like, you go touring around the world, be respectful, please. It is very important. Whatever you see could be very, very important to the culture that lives in that area. And honestly, you don't know. You don't know what could happen.
Yep. And okay, to be fair, it is not everyone doing it, but it's more of a handful of black
No.
ships. It's just that because there's so many
Yeah.
people in China, there is a lot of occurrences as a result. Alright, so he wrote that down on one of the mountains, and he's an animal, right? So what do you think animals do to mark their territory?
Oh no. Oh no, he didn't.
Yep, he peed on it.
Oh no.
He peed on the words to, you know, to leave a scent. Because he's a monkey, you know, animals.
Yep.
Okay, so he flew
Yep.
there, waited for a while, then he flew all the way back to the heavenly court where Buddha was there waiting. And he bragged to Buddha, look at it, look at me, I'm so great, I flew all the way to the ends of the world. You couldn't catch up with me, couldn't you? Then Buddha raised his hand
Okay.
and said, are these
Hold
the
on.
words you
When we
wrote?
go to the Hold on 1 second. Sorry. When we go to the next floor, go ahead and use the Pomander of Lust after mine goes out. That way I can keep tanking and you can keep healing. We don't have any disruption there. And feel free to use the Pomander of Witching.
Witching.
We'll also
Okay.
pop a Steel and Strength before we get started in the big fight.
Okay. Yeah, so okay, maybe let's finish up this story. I'm almost done before we
Let's
go
do
there.
the boss fight real quick.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna focus on the boss fight and continue the story after that because I don't think I can do both at the same time. Okay,
Gotta
so
mark your territory. Do you have to mark it though? Does it have to be marked?
animals
Okay, hold
do.
on a second. We're going to go ahead and use this.
Okay,
Use
pop
this.
one.
There's that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the Pomander of Lust, and then once I turn back into normal Fluffy, go ahead and
Wait, so I don't pop it yet?
don't pop it until after I'm back to normal Fluffy.
Okay, I actually almost did it. How much am I actually healing actually? 300, alright. Actually this is going pretty fast. I don't think I need to pop it.
Maybe not.
No,
Oh
no,
no.
no.
Oh no. Can't get away from that one. Oh wow, that tickled.
Yeah.
You call yourself a dragon?
Hey.
Not you.
Yeah, but you know, family.
Is it though? Is
Actually,
it?
it looks more like an insect.
Yay!
Woohoo!
I'm a gob again.
And honestly, you pretty much just carried me throughout this whole thing because I don't think I did anything. I don't recall doing anything
Well, you resurrected me.
once. Like I let
Do
you
do
die.
do.
Wait, exiting the
You did
area
let me
for
die. I will.
um.
Yeah,
Okay, record. Yep.
it'll record our progress, so we will have completed the next 10. So when we come back in, we'll be doing 11 through 20.
Okay, and that one I haven't done. Okay, so now, continuing the story. So the Monkey
Yes.
King arrived back at the Heavenly Court where he met Buddha and bragged, and Buddha held up his hand and said, "Are these the words that you wrote?" And the Monkey King was so shocked. He and then he went on, "Smell it. Is that your pee on it?" Basically, ultimately proving once and for
Yep.
all that the Monkey King had never escaped the Buddha's grubs. That was
Yep.
his. He was still standing in Buddha's hand. Yeah. So basically, from then on, so he then basically sealed off the monkey by trapping him under a mountain known as the uh, five something mountain, which is basically Buddha's palm pressing down on him and becoming a mountain. I'm not sure whether
This is
Buddha.
what we in our side of the world call the five-finger death punch prison.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
one.
sure that's what it's called.
Something like that. Five Fingers Mountain, I think. Yeah, Wu San. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and the Monkey King got trapped there for a long time. And that's the introduction to the epic of the Monkey King. Yes,
It
the
is.
introduction.
I find it. I find it really interesting because there is always in every mythos there's always a trickster character, whether it be the Monkey King, whether it be Coyote in the Native American lore. Um,
Loki in Greek.
Although that depends on the lore and the version of Coyote does depend on the tribe. We'll see a lot of different mythos for Coyote in the southern tribes than we will in kind of the northern tribes. And he'll play it depending on the tribe, depends on kind of how prominent a role in the mythos Coyote plays. There's also, of course, Loki in Norse mythology.
Ah, yes, Norse, not Greek. I got the two confused.
Yes, Norse mythology is Loki, Thor, Odin. You know, I'm sure names that a lot of people have heard a lot recently. Um, and it's funny because they always seem to have a bad day. There's always somebody stronger that comes along.
I actually
Um,
kind of pity Loki a little based on what I know of him, at least some of it. But yeah, I
what do
think,
you know of Loki?
well, he was a half what was it? Fire giant, half
Frost giant.
frost giant. Dang, how did I get
Hmm.
fire giant out of that? He was a half frost giant, which was supposedly the rulers of the world as well at one point of time, and sort of he
Well,
got taken in and got tricked into doing things. Yeah.
not necessarily he got tricked, more he did a lot of tricking. There was definitely some bad blood there because he wasn't um essentially full-blooded. Oh, what is the word?
As Guardian?
Yes. I mean, yeah. Well, we know not to call you Goku. Can't even lift 5 mountains. I told them that you flew into a mountain.
Yeah,
We
I
will
saw
be
that.
right back.
Okay, I got a stream running again. Okay, well,
Okay, we're
something
back.
happened here. I think, okay, now I suspect it's, now I'm starting to suspect there's a DirectX issue because this crash happened immediately after DirectX crash.
Huh. Okay.
Yep. Uh, Give me a second. Let me just launch everything up. We are back on stream anyway, so hopefully that was
So welcome back. It's Loki. He heard me talking about him.
yeah, it was
Clearly, that's what happened.
oh hey yeah. Oh yeah, I was about to
um,
say earlier that if I'm not wrong, another
mhm.
aspect was that Loki was not just the descendant of a frost giant, but also the descendant of a one of the frost giant kings or something like that. And it was supposedly his rightful rule, but the Asgardians took over, something like that. Am I right on that
Well,
point?
as far as the frost giants kind of issue and the Asgardians, essentially Odin defeated the frost giants. And I believe there's some aspect where he used the king of the frost giants' body to create Asgard. Um, I could be wrong. It's been a little bit since I read those books too, but essentially the Asgardians and the frost giants are always at war. Because of course, the Norse and the Vikings and war is a major aspect of their culture. But there is also a story about how the frost giants and the king of the frost giants is obsessed with Freya or there's a lot of Freyas, but Odin's wife. And they keep trying to capture her so that they can do Viking things to her. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But they are essentially all in love with Freya, and of course Odin's not gonna exactly let that just happen. So they are constantly at war. Uh, and there's so many stories. Just basically in Norse mythology, everybody's at war until Ragnarok happens, and then they go to war more.
Hmm. Okay, now before we
But
continue on, what are we doing in FF14 entry point? Next one.
yeah, might as well go ahead and do the next area.
Okay, so that is Loki. So tell us more about mythology from other parts of the world and not just. So we had quite a bit of Chinese mythology. Perhaps let's have some
Mhm.
comparisons of some of this mythology, and let's see you tank while
It's
trying to tell a story.
oh, me Tank was trying to tell a story. I don't know what story to tell. Oh wait, hold on. Let's go ahead and disable traps. Get a little bit more defense. Excuse me, defense. Well, honestly, I one of the things I wanted to ask since we're talking about mythology, is I was kind of curious and wanted to see if you could tell us a little bit about um the divine beasts and the role that they play.
So that is actually a whole other set of mythology. But I think we did roughly cover this slightly. But the main idea is just that they are beasts of kind of like guardian sort of role. So they basically function as guardians, and they're not
Mhm.
particularly important in the whole hierarchy. Like think of it as like
Well,
a guard dog kind of thing.
yeah, that's one thing I noticed that we see a lot of though in cultivation novels is almost every cultivation novel I have edited for has at some point mentioned at least one of the holy beasts
Yes,
or one of
so
the
the
divine beasts.
divine beast, sacred beast, guardian beast, well, plenty of translations for that. I believe holy beast is one of the. Well, if you were to go more literal in the form of in the translation, Sheng, so
Mhm.
Sheng will mean sacred, sage, or holy, because so that's what where we get the word for holy in Chinese, which is 圣洁, which has also an element of purity in it. But yeah, the holy beast is definitely very popular, but I think it's mainly popular because it's one of the known, like it's one of those known mythical beasts that is commonly talked about, and it's something that a lot of people know about. I mean, dragons for one, quite common, yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
of course, if you were to consider the black tortoise, okay, now the black tortoise is not technically a tortoise. It's more a turtle than a tortoise.
We were actually talking about this recently with the super secret project that we're working on.
Yeah, I was trying to decide whether to name, I believe, a dragon turtle or dragon tortoise. Here's the thing. Chinese is a very strange language sometimes, so the word for tortoise and turtles are the same. But because it's a two-character word, so it is
Right.
basically dependent on what character you use in combination. Stop pulling me over. What character you use in combination to create the meaning of the word. So, the word for tortoise or turtle is gui. Okay, G-U-I. Okay, let's just leave it at that for now. And how you define whether is it a tortoise or turtle will depend on what word you put in front of it. Like for example, a turtle will be hai gui, or in, well, terrible translation, sea gui. You know, the sea version of this thing. And then
Right. Okay.
a tortoise is wu gui, which is like grey or black, one of this thing. So in that thing we had where it was dragon turtle, it was long gui, which is dragon gui. I mean, yeah. So it's a bit hard to determine whether to use tortoise or turtle at times. That
Right.
aside,
Makes
so
sense.
yeah, so the reason why we end up with black tortoise and dragon turtle is due to established names that have been used in the past. In fact, if you look up entries on Wikipedia, you can find entries under those names. Okay, so now the Shenwu, or the black tortoise, it's just known as the black tortoise. Shen has the meaning of black or mystery. Wu also means tortoise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, you know, another word for tortoise. And
Right.
of course, it also can literally mean mysterious marshal. A little weird, but yeah. So, but that's the black tortoise. I believe in Japanese it's known as Genbu.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Then Azure Dragon.
I know that.
Okay, go on.
Right. So we have the black tortoise, or black turtle again, kind of depending on context.
Tortoise.
And then you were saying the Azure Dragon.
Azure Dragon, yeah. Then we have the Vermilion Bird, which I believe we also mentioned the last time. Vermilion Bird and the White Tiger. And you will probably find these four beasts very familiar in various Japanese anime because they do have the same sacred beast as well. So yeah, if you recall previous episode, we were talking about how Japan could have been formed by people who escaped Emperor Qing, which this is one of the reasons why, yes, I'm trying to target you, which I can't. But yeah,
well,
so
and we do obviously see a lot of similarities between Japanese mythos and philosophy and Chinese mythos.
Yep.
So how do these sacred beasts relate to cultivation?
Well, in what sense? What direction are you? Well, as in like, how are you trying to
How do I
correlate
mean?
this. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed editing cultivation novels, as we're talking about, kind of that's our core subject matter. Why is it that we see these divine beasts and the concept of beasts in cultivation novels usually mentions a spiritual core? Is there any correlation between, the concept of the divine beasts, that spiritual core, and what part do they play when it comes to cultivation?
Okay, so I am actually not entirely sure on this. I mean, I'm still human, so I don't really know everything. But
Right.
I think it's really just the fact that these are very common animals and they make use of. Because I don't think this in actual Taoism or religions or mythologies were they used as cause of cultivation. So this was something
Okay.
that came out in novels and authors just picked up on it and used it because it's convenient. Like,
Okay.
okay,
So
so
there's no real cultural significance between the two concepts, is what you're saying.
the only cultural significance is more of like how the divinity of these sacred beasts or holy beasts and their
Mm-hmm.
importance sort of in the like how they appear in mythology and where they rank among animals, and that kind of like often shows that the clans that have these spirits or whatsoever are of particular importance.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe there's this concept of the martial spirit in for cultivation. Yeah, I don't think that is a thing in frog.
I am a frog, which
Can
means I
I
can't fight.
wait? Can I
Ribbit.
do this? Can I Esuna you?
Nope. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Oh, yay. I can fight again. Smack.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the that
Well,
is
you
some
mentioned ranking among animals.
sort of. I mean,
I
they
went the
are
wrong
the
way.
guardian beasts after all. Of all the beasts, they were selected to do that. So
Right.
that's that. And also, okay, now this is where it gets a little familiar with uh, Greek mythologies, where in Greek mythologies, basically, from my understanding, is a whole mess of relationships and people sleeping with each other and people
Mostly
sleeping
it's
with
just
things that
Zeus.
are not of their species.
Mostly that's just Zeus. Oh, hold on.
You
Cannot
can hold
carry.
max of
Oh, we
3.
cannot carry more of the witchering. If you want to use some of those as we're fighting, go for it.
I'm good. I can heal.
Well, no, I mean we have to get rid of them.
We don't have to pick this up.
That's true. We're gonna go ahead and open that. Alright. We'll save the next one for after.
Yeah, okay, so like it's not just Zeus, I believe there's actually more than Zeus. Like Aphrodite
Make
definitely
it
has a lot
weird.
out there. If I believe you mentioned what's Zeus' wife name again?
Hera.
Hera. Hera was like super jealous, but I believe she had other partners as well. Poseidon also had issues. Hades, I don't think I heard anything about that.
Hades? Nope, Hades, he married one woman and he stayed loyal to that woman and he did his job, and Hades is the good boy of the mythos.
Despite being
Okay, we
always
don't need to
portrayed
go
as the
that way
bad
yet.
guy.
Yeah,
Uh,
despite being portrayed as the bad guy, we also missed a chest in here. No, wait, that's the chest we couldn't open. Never mind.
Now there was this one,
Yeah.
right, whereby someone went into into Hades, into hell, was it? Whatever it was called again, and they were not supposed to eat anything from there, or else they'll be stuck there.
Oh, there's a lot of mythos like that. I don't remember that particular story. I do remember the story of a man whose wife had passed away, and he went down to, I don't know if she passed away or if he broke his word to Hades, but he had to go down to Hades to get her back, and Hades said, Hades said that, all right, I will let you take her home with one condition. You absolutely cannot look at her until you have left my realm. And so they, start the long trek back up to the surface. And he can hear his wife behind him. She's not talking, but he can, hear her footsteps. And just does his best, but he hasn't seen his wife in so long, and it's so tempting, and he wants to see her face once again. But he tries because he knows that if he turns and looks, Hades will keep her in the underworld. And as they get closer, they almost get to the door, they're almost out. And of course, curiosity overwhelms him. And he ends up turning to look at her. And if I remember correctly, at least the story that I heard, was that he turns and looks and he sees not her living face, but her corpse face. Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, keep me alive!
Sure. I'll try. Okay, so Phantom said something. The one that I mentioned, I believe, that was Hades' wife.
No, that was, I'm not talking about the story of Hades' wife.
Yeah, as in the one that I mentioned, the one that couldn't eat anything in
Hades'
Hades.
wife is Persephone.
Yeah, so
she ate pomegranate.
wait, I seem to recall like someone went down to save her.
She was actually the goddess of spring. And so essentially the entire pantheon was against her marrying Hades. But she ended up doing it anyway and brought spring to the underworld, which included the regrowth of the sacred pomegranate. I died. You died.
How did I die? I had full health, right?
That's because that slime exploded.
Done.
And when it explodes, it kills everybody.
Okay, well, looking at the time, I don't think we really have much time to do another run of this. How about we come out and probably just, run the main quest while we continue chatting a little more about mythology?
Well, we should go ahead and turn in our booty from levels 1 through 10, because we leave with them.
That sounds like a good idea. And we'll have mine with us doing this the next time. I think this is actually a pretty good thing to run. And the only catch is I think there's just two of us, so things get a little hairy.
Fairly well. Who do we have to talk to?
This guy.
Expedition Bishop?
Yep, the bishop. Bronze
Praise my accursed horde!
Appraise! Appraise!
Shiny.
Mummy's little mummy.
So as we start wrapping up here, we've got about 10 more minutes. If there is anything that you guys want to hear about specifically, again, please let us know. You can leave, a note here in the chat, or you can get a hold of us on Discord. And as long as we have enough time to prepare, make sure that, we're not throwing out any false information, we will go ahead and discuss things.
So what did you get?
I'm taking a look. I got a Storm Tracer, a handheld incinerator device distributed by I don't know if it has like if it's a one thing. What is it? It is a one thing. One time use only. I'm gonna go use it though. Fireworks!
Aw,
I
I missed
got
it. I
Palace
was
of
looking
the
away.
Dead. I got Palace of the Dead flooring that we can put into the oh wow, this is actually really good for you. That we can put into the FC house once we get it. Let me give this to you though. This is gonna do you a lot more good than it'll do me.
Oh,
And I got a Piety Materia level 5.
I think it's fine. You can keep it. Probably sell it or something. I'll be
But
honest.
you're gonna need them.
Yeah, but I'm not likely to want to do any material attaching until I'm higher level. At this point in time, I'm like
Yeah.
running through my equipment quite fast.
Yeah, you usually don't really want to focus on materia until you get to about level 45, 50, when you kind of slow down on equipment consumption.
Oh,
So
well,
it's not
I
as
am level
expensive.
45.
Yeah, well, have you been doing your class quests?
Oh yeah, I did all the class
Oh, I have
quests
to talk to
except for the
Loki.
Thaumaturge and the crafting and gathering classes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I got 2
Oh,
minions and
nice! I didn't
a
get any minions.
demi material, which I still am not sure what is the use for. You know what?
Trade window and I could take a look.
Sure.
But also, you should show us your minions.
Do you want one? I actually got quite a few minions on hand.
Let's see, what is
Okay, this
the
is what I
item we're
got. This
looking
is what I
at?
got. And
Well, no, I mean, if you show
this
us
one.
your, like, pull them out. Unless you already have them set. Oh, okay, clear demi materia is a crafting item. Hold on to that.
Okay. Well, sure, I shall show them, and let me just get them in.
Summon! Let's actually step over here so that our viewers can see them a little bit better. There's so many minions in this game, guys. So many minions. You can see my Pudgy Puck, which is wandering around. Where are you, Pudgy Puck?
I currently have a princely hatching on hand. Pudgy Puck's there. It's your Pudgy Puck's kind of camouflaged.
Try to get him out of the grass. He doesn't listen very well. He's kind of derpy.
Okay, and let's see, mounts? No, not mounts. Minions.
Minions.
Here's one. This is the tight big parrot.
Aww.
Oh, this
Not gonna lie, he
one.
looks
This
a
is
little
the
derpy too.
okay. If one of the earlier dungeons. Which one was it called again? The one that you fight the orca.
I was tanking. I just looked at the boss. It's
Shastasha.
taller than me.
Satasha.
Sasa. Yeah.
That is the captain's parrot.
Oh, that's the captain's parrot. I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, and here's
That's
the other one.
That yells at us. There's intruders.
Yep. Mummy's
Oh,
little
I'm standing
mummy.
on him. That is adorable
Let me
and
see if I
reminds
can.
me of an anime.
Let me figure out how am I going to show him in center frame. A little tough, but it's a little hard to see. But yeah, there we go.
He's a Cyclops.
No, he
He
has
also
2
needs
eyes.
some eye drops. Does he? I only saw one eye. Come back here.
2 eyes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 2 eyes.
Okay.
I see it. See at the bottom, 2 eyes.
I can't see on your screen.
It's kind of hard to get him on screen and large.
Yeah, he's tiny. There is a way that you can, I don't know how, but there's like a photo taking
Okay,
mechanic.
let's try
Anyway,
that.
there are so many available minions in this game. So many. And the interesting thing is that the minions, depending on the minions you have, some of them will actually interact with each other. My favorite is the demon brick, but we're gonna get that once we get to those dungeons. As you can get a lot of minions actually for free just by doing quests or by doing the MSQ. And some dungeons will have chests that are kind of tucked away in a corner, and some of those will actually have minions that will drop. For anyone that is interested or does play Final Fantasy, always need on minions. Always. Unless you have it, I guess. Then you can greed on it. If you're feeling nice. But most people always greed on minions.
There you go. Do you see it now? Two eyes.
I still see one eye. One giant big eye.
Two red dots in the black area.
He needs eye drops. That's my theory. He needs eye drops. Poor little thing. I mean, if I were buried in the sand, I'd probably need some eye drops too. Anyway. Alright guys, it is, well, for me, 10:20 or 10:58. I can read numbers. I'm an editor.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good time for us to probably come in and end. I think we did go through quite a lot of mythologies, and there's definitely a lot more to Chinese mythologies and of course other mythologies as well. I mean, just the story of the Monkey King alone that I mentioned, the whole long story I told, that was just the brief introduction. I haven't even gone into the details yet.
And he's just one of the divine beings.
He's the one that has a lot of stories about him. He's very popular. And then of course we have some of the some of the stories that are actually rooted in history. Not so much about divine beings, but like for example the romance of the Three Kingdoms, that was also another interesting story out there that has a lot of influence on novels as well. Yeah. Alright.
So again, if you liked this stream and enjoyed story time with Dragon and I, do not forget to leave a like and a follow and bells and hearts. You know the buttons to push. You know.
Yep, push all the buttons. Basically, if you don't know any buttons, just push them all.
Just push a button. It's okay. Nothing bad will happen. Just push a button.
Yeah. Well, and with that, you know, come check out our novel when well, Secret Project's coming out somewhere in the week. But you know, that's the one that is I'm doing with another editor. So do check those out as well. And there are some various links in the description. Do check those out. And we will see you guys next time.
Well, we could go ahead and make that the official announcement next weekend when we stream, can't we?
We can.
Super secret project. Yeah. So look forward to that. Don't forget to check us out. We will have new content for you. And we love you. Bye bye.
Yep. And next stream, same time, 9 p.m. GMT plus 8, 9 a.m. EST. Yep, EST.
Yes.
And yep. Ciao, guys.
Adios.